Hi, it's Roberta from Quilt Crafters Corner. Today we're going to do a block, and today's block is called Balkan's Puzzle. Now, I really like the way this block turned out. I used batiks in it because I needed to add some to some of the other ones that I've done already. So I am real pleased with the way this one came out. And I like some of the pieces in it that make the block itself. So let's take a look at this and I'll show you how this one goes together. Here is the block itself, and the way that this block goes together is it's in 4 squares. There's 4 quadrants here. These are all 6.5-inch squares. These work into 6.5-inch squares. So let's take a look. So first we start with this piece here, and this is just a flying goose block or rectangle, and it starts with just a 3.5-inch square over a 3.5 by 6.5-inch rectangle, and I draw my line from point to point and then just sew a scant just on this side of the line, because I know this side is going to be cut off for this to lay up like so. So I will take that to my machine and I will sew it. This one has been sewn, and like I said, it's just right there on the edge of that line. And what I do is then I cut off that portion of it, and I will take this to the iron and I will press this really good. And I want to press this good so that when I lay my next block here, which is this fabric, I want to make sure that I'm going to have a 1/4 of an inch up here to allow for the seam, and I'm not going to lose my point up there on the top of the flying geese or goose, anything like that. So what I'll do is I will take my ruler and I'll just go from point to point, and I will draw a line. And then I'll take this to my machine, and once again I'll sew just a thread's distance off of this onto this part, because this is the part that's going to be cut off. And then that will make my flying goose unit. So there's that one there. So that's part of our block here. Let's take a look at the other one. And it starts with a 3.5 by 6.5 rectangle, and then you need to add 3.5-inch squares. Now this is the part that's a little bit trickier. You need to remember which way your diagonals are going, because you want a different effect than this one. Here you want them both going this way. So you need to remember which way you're going when you put these on. And then what I'll do, once again, draw a line, and I will take that to my machine and I will sew just a scant 1/4 inch right off this line on this side, because I know it's going to be cut off. And this is what that looks like. And then what I'll do is I will cut this off, and then I'll take this to the iron and I will very carefully press it really good, once again, to make sure that this lays nice and flat. And then what I'll do is I'll add my second one. And it is going in the same direction as this one. And so what I'll do is I'll draw my line, from corner to corner, and take that to my machine, and I will sew on this side of the line just right next to it, and then this way this will go like that. So here is the finished block from that one. And what these do now, these get put together like this. So I will take this to the machine and I will sew. Now right here, we have this nice little cross and we need to sew just right above it. So I always sew these with this one facing up. That way I know that point's not gonna get lost. The other thing that I do is I take a pin and put right through that cross there and through to make sure I'm going to hit my seam on the other side so everything matches up. So I want to make sure that this matches up just really nicely. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put it through the top layer and then place it through the second layer, and then that way I know it's going to match up and everything's going to be, it's all going to be a nice point there. So I'll take that to my machine and I'll sew my scant 1/4 inch. I will leave my pin in until I get that to that point, and then I'll take it out because I know by then everything's in place. And here is what that block looks like. And this is just this block right here. And right here, right here. So you're just making 4 of these blocks to make the one block. And it's just 4 of these repeated, just moved. Just move this way, this way, this way, and that way. Okay? So how easy is that? It's a very easy thing. Like I said, the most difficult part is remembering which way you're putting these on, so that you get your slant going the right way, and your flying geese to make sure you don't lose your points. So that is today's block. It's called Balkan Puzzle. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to encourage you to, I'd love to know what you think of this block. And if you haven't joined the swarm, please come join the swarm. You can post pictures of projects you're working on, and some of the projects that I'm working on, I'll throw pictures up in there. So everybody have a great day, and I want to thank you all for joining, and I will see you on Wednesday.